Hello internet friends, my name is Catherine and I'm the human behind Creation Biscuiter, and today we are going to do another Colourpop. What am I talking about? I'm not talking about the Colourpop brand. We're going to be doing a color inspired by Kpop Demon Hunters. So we're going to be doing two colors. We're going to be doing one inspired by the amazing Zoey, which is my favorite character of the movie, and also a tonal inspired by the singles Golden, because obviously we have to do a golden color, and I think that both colors will look nice together as a sock set. So as usual, after the video will be online, you will be able to purchase dye to order the sock set or the full skeins of both of those colors, including the one that we did 2 weeks ago, inspired by the tiger and by Rumi. So without further ado, let's get into this. So I wanted to quickly show you where my brain went. So for the golden, obviously it went for this very golden color, but I really felt that the first outfit of Zoey was so adorable, and I wanted to try to recreate this outfit with the colors that I chose. So this is why we went with the intense iris, the true turquoise, sage leaf, and I still added some of the golden color as well for the pants and to tie in the golden singles. So that's where my head went with Zoey. So let's get into it. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to be creating a color for Zoey, which is my favorite character in Kpop Demon Hunter. So the color we'll be working with is Intense Iris, True Turquoise, Sage Leaf, and Duckling, which are all colors that I feel represent Zoey pretty well. So we're going to be doing our stock solution first, and we're also going to be swatching Duckling for golden, for our golden color for the song. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to grab our respirator. As always, we only have one pair of lungs, so please protect them. And you don't have to use the same mask as I do. Just make sure that it's something that will catch the fine particles. Okay, because we only have one pair of lungs. Repeat after me. Okay. Perfect. So always make sure that your scale is at 0. Let's do this. Okay. So this one is good. Let's do the other one. Always make sure that you are putting 0 on your scale. It's so weird because for the duckling one, I had to order a new one because I ran out of the other one that I had, and it was not the same dye a lot, and the texture is so different. Oh, and I forgot to grab. I forgot to grab the smaller one for the mini skeins. Okay. So now that everything is wet, I can remove my respirator for now. So we're going to go into the pen now to try and do our Zoey. Okay, so since we want the color to strike the yarn rather quickly, we're adding our citric acid right now, and I'm adding 2 cups of tap water, so that way we have a low immersion. And also, when you're adding layers upon layers, usually you're adding more liquid, so we want to ensure that we don't end up with too much liquid. at the end of this. So let's turn this on as well so the heat can start to strike the yarn. Okay, so now we are going to let the color strike for about 10-15 minutes, and we're going to come back to add the second layer. Okie dokie. So this, where are my gloves? Okay. Like that looks good. So it's been about like 10 minutes since we added the first layer. Let's add second layer. Okay. So we're going to do another 10 minutes for this color. Oh my gosh, I'm making a mess. Ay, ay. Okay, so in 10. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. So we can add our third layer of color. Okay, so same thing, we're going to do another 10 minutes. And we're going to come back in 10. See you in 10. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. So we can add our fourth layer, and I am considering maybe adding a fifth one. We're going to see what it looks like, because the goal of the yellow is to have some of those yellow spots from the pants that we saw in the mood board, but also to have more green covering everything. So we might have to add another layer. I'm not 100% of where I'm gonna go with that. And we're most likely also going to add speckles, because I feel like Zoe is a speckle gal. Yeah, cute. So we're still going to keep some of that blue, but we're also going to gain more shades and hues of green, like that. Oh, yeah. Okay, I like it, and I think we're going to add some speckles of the duckling. Yep, let's add some speckles of duckling. Okay, I'm just going to grab my respirator for that though. So let's add some duckling. Here we go. There we go. Okay, let's just let me rinse this off. Ugh. So now that we have all the colors that we want, I'm just going to lower a little bit the temperature. We're going to do 30 minutes on the stove, because it's always 30 minutes from the last color added, or when we reach the proper temperature. So we're going to see each other in 30 minutes. Okay, so that's good to go. Okay, so we're just going to turn this off. We're going to let it cool completely, and then we're going to be washing off the excess dye. So see you in a bit. So with this color, I was expecting a little bit of bleeding due to the true turquoise and the intense iris, because I usually have to work a little bit harder to get the excess dyes from those two colors. I didn't have any color left in the dye bath, however, so this is always a good sign, but I know that I will have to work a little bit to get all the excess removed from the skeins, simply due to those two colors. There's some pigments, I'm not exactly certain exactly what the pigment is that creates this excess dye in those two specific dye, but it does happen. Now, what I'm going to do is not something I usually would recommend doing. However, with the little bleeding I saw, I didn't see any harm in adding my yellow skeins into the same bath. So this is not something I usually do. I try to avoid mixing the same colors, like different colors together when I'm washing off excess dye. But in this situation, there was not a whole lot left, and my yellow, there was not enough of the yellow to like guarantee like a whole soaking process. So here you can see that I'm removing some of the bath, and I'm going to, that's just because there was a faint hint of blue in the water, which, like I've mentioned like 5 million times already in this short clip, true turquoise and intense iris can do. My suspicions are on the true turquoise more than on the intense iris, because I've had issues with true turquoise. I'm sure that they share some pigments with Caribbean blue, and we always need help with that. So we're going to put that in the spin dryer and let it dry overnight. And here's the final result for our Zoey and Golden inspired colors. I am super excited because I feel this really represents well the color of the first, like her first concert suit that she was wearing, which I really like. It's very her, I feel, full of colors and little pop of the speckles for the bubbly personality that she does have. I'm super excited with this one. I think I'm going to try to crank a little bit of it to see how this would knit up and make a swatch for it, because it's I'm very happy with it. I hope you also think that it represents well, Zoey. And for the golden color, I think we've done a pretty good job. It does really look golden. And I think we've taken the color inspiration really well here. I hope you also think that we have a good representation of the colors that we chose for Zoey. So I know it's a lot of blue for this Kpop Demon Hunter collection so far, but I think with this Such a Boys and Mira, we're going to have a nice balance of colors too. And with the little pop of yellow, I think we have a pretty decent color selection so far. And there's also Bobby that I think I'm going to do something with him. Maybe like with a black and yellow suit for the last concert. That could be fun too. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment box, and I will see what I can do for you. So if you liked the video, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye!